a human resource representative from Nestlé, Mondelēz, and also we have a representative from I am having a technical problem on my screen. Sorry for that. Okay, so going back, so we have a representative from Nestlé, Mondelēz, and of course from the pharmaceutical industry, we also have GlaxoSmithKline Philippines. So thank you for being with us today. Now let's kick off this panel session by getting to know more about our panelists. So tell us about yourself, what you do, and what your organization does. Let's start with you, Clyde. Hello, Clyde.
Hello, Alvin. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be here on a panel discussion together with Nestlé and with GSK.
Thank you, Clyde. Awesome. Tell me more about yourself. Tell us more about yourself and your organization. Andy.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. I'm Andy Ablan. I am the HR business partner for the pharmaceutical business of GlaxoSmithKline Philippines. Good afternoon.
All right. And last but not the least, we have Mayjoy.
Hello, hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Major Casanova. I am managing talent acquisition and talent development. Sorry, it's quite long, no? Kasi, I would like to introduce myself. I have more than 10 years of HR experience and really fruitful and productive years in Nestlé. So now I'm managing integrated talent team for YF, Nestlé Business Services, and Nestlé Philippines. So just a quick sharing about our company. So Nestlé has been in operations for more than 150 years globally and 110 years of being kasama sa buhay ng mga Pilipino. So we are honored to be kasambuhay to Filipinos and Filipino families. We are proud to bring the best food and beverage throughout the life stages of our consumers. We have more than 5,000 employees strong, brilliant individuals who are purposeful. Siguro, as we discussed, I will be reiterating a lot about our purpose of nurturing generations of Filipino families. So these are well-known brands: Nescafe, Nido, Milo, Nestea, Maggi, Bear Brand, Purina. So Nestlé, we find meaning in being a force for good in the Filipino lives and through our products. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for your introductions. We are really yearning to learn more about the organizations, about the openings that the students, the early career starters can explore with you. So let's get into it. Let me ask you our first question. What is the most important piece of advice you'd give to students aspiring to work for an organization within your industry, within the consumer goods industry? Let's start with you, Clyde.
Yes, I think that's a good question, Alvin. Thanks for that. I think three things from me. First one is continue building relationships with your organization, with your peer, because once you join the organization, there will be your own network, to connect with. Second, learn to always grow every day. So in Mondelēz, that's one of our values. It's important that whilst you're growing on a personal level, you're also growing professionally, and with that also would be being able to develop your skills, being able to learn and unlearn new things in the organization, especially when you join the FMCG industry. And then lastly is I think this is very personal from my end, which is to always do what's right. So it's the basic of all those things, building your own credibility, building your own experience, and as you go through the interview, as you go through your whole experience in the organization, or in the industry, your own agenda and your own commitment will always be with you. Yeah, I think quickly that is just the things that I'd like to give for the students like you guys to take on, and just just chill along the way and just enjoy the moment, get as much opportunities and learning as you can get while you're still in the school, because it will be a lot different when you join the organizations.
That is correct. Thank you, Clyde. I'm sure that everyone who's listening got points from you. They realize that you really need to be a sponge once you join, especially the FMCG industry. Innovation is really big in the FMCG industry, and you should learn. You will learn a lot, and I know that the learning curve is steep. Very challenging industry to be in, but very exciting industry. What about Andy? Tell us, how can one survive or thrive in your industry?
Okay, that's a good question. But probably, Alvin, before I answer that question, no, just like to kind of introduce GSK, to everyone here, because probably apart from Mondelēz and Nestlé, we are not exactly in the consumer industry. We are more in the pharmaceutical industry. So just a quick introduction. GSK is a global company that research, develop, and manufacture medicines and vaccines and consumer healthcare products. So we manufacture trusted brands such as Ventolin, Seretide, Avamys, Sizal, and Keppra, to name a few. So I just wanted to put it out there that we're not strictly on the FMCG business. We are more on the pharma, industry. So going back to your question, Alvin, sorry, you were asking about how students can thrive?
Yes, like your advice to students aspiring to work in your organization.
Thank you, Alvin, for repeating that. Sorry. Of course, I think one must be open, open to challenges, open to new ideas, and even open to counsel, honestly. There's just so much to learn and to experience. Just going to this new world, coming from the university or coming from where you are. And honestly, the challenge is real. I would advise students to challenge themselves every day and try to be better than their yesterday, always seeking to learn and also seeking to win. That's also very important. Having a winning mindset as well as a can-do attitude will definitely help you thrive and survive gracefully in this fast-paced industry.
That is right. A good takeaway is having a good winning attitude. Like, it's not necessarily that you know a lot of things, but if you have the right attitude, you can learn and you can succeed. And thank you for pointing out that other than FMCG, GSK is also an essential industry, part of the essential industry. Of course, for manufacturing drugs, for distributing drugs here in the Philippines. And I'm sure that people from sales who are interested in sales and marketing would be interested to know more about also GSK, because you have openings in sales and marketing right now.
Yes.
Thank you. So now let's go to Mayjoy from Nestlé. Give us your advice.
Thank you, Alvin. Siguro sa amin naman sa Nestlé, we are always, halos everyday we always live by our purpose. So maybe the biggest advice, the most important piece of advice is really to find your purpose and see how it links to the company or even to the job that you are applying for. So find meaning in the company and into the work that you will do. Because working in a fast-paced organization or company, there are a lot of ambiguities, vulnerabilities. It's a VUCA environment. So talagang really being able to come to work every day and understanding, being able to see how your purpose, how you deliver, how you impact your day-to-day, that is what will make you say babangon tayo every day. So there, but to build onto that, to build onto that, syempre agility and resilience, ang daming nagbabago in this new normal. So every opportunity, every moment presents us with to try something new, become better, and steer our destiny. Kaya talagang, alam mo yun, minsan there's no really one major piece of advice, but really find it in you and then continue to strive, continue to do good, and every day that you do better, I think that's more than enough. There, and see your contribution, how you impact the organization, and medyo pang Miss Universe, pero how you impact the Philippines, diba? How you impact your community. That is where you find your purpose.
Right. I like it. I like Babangon Tayo from Nescafe. That's a very good campaign, right? And right now we are talking with Millennials and Gen Z. And from what we know, when you talk about millennials, when you talk about Gen Z, they're all about purpose. They're not too much about superficial things. They want a deeper meaning to everything. And when it comes to their career, they want a company whose values are aligned with their values. So yes, that is very correct. I think we've got a complete a comprehensive advice from our panelists today about how you will be able to thrive and do good in the consumer or the pharmaceutical industry. So let's move on to the next question. What is your organization looking for in an applicant? And what do students need to show to progress in the next round? So this is very practical. So what are you looking for? Their skill set or their soft skills, hard skills, and then what do they need to do for you to be able to notice them and consider them for example, an interview, which is the next step in the application process. Why don't we start with Andy first?
Sure. Okay, so what are we looking for? Very, very practical question. No? So definitely we're looking for agility. Okay, our Future Leaders program that's actually open to students like you guys requires that you should be able to quickly adapt, learn, and make an impact, in the organization. The Future Leaders program is composed of 3 rotations where you will be rotated in sales, marketing, and a breadth role in a commercial function. And the span is actually every 12 months, right? So, kailangan mabilis. After 12 months, you go to your next assignment, you transition, and the process of learning new things, applying the things that you've learned in the past, and also building more skills, and at the same time making an impact. Very important. You have to kind of be able to do that in a very fast manner. So definitely what we're looking for this early is for you to be able to kind of display your agility, because that's the journey that you're gonna have to go through, right? Definitely we're also looking for individuals who have ambition in the commercial space. Syempre, it has to be aligned with their aspiration as well. So people who intends to pursue a promising career within the sales, marketing, or commercial space, those are definitely people that, we would want to be in GSK.
That's correct. So agility and the ability to learn fast, and of course your flair. You should have a flair for commercial if you want to join their Future Leaders program. That's FLP. And right now, are you looking for particular graduates of particular disciplines, or is it open to all disciplines?
We're leaning towards business, marketing, sales, right? But we're also open to graduates from the fields of science as well. That has proven to be helpful also, considering we are in the pharma industry, right? But definitely the flair, as you said, diba? The ambition, the flair for the commercial space, it definitely is something that we will be looking for.
Okay, so when you apply to GSK, show that flair, show that interest, that passion for the commercial space, and make sure to highlight your past experiences or your credentials that shows that you are an excellent learner
Yes.
that has agility. Thank you, Andy. What can you say about that? How can I be noticed if I'm an applicant in Nestlé? Mayjoy.
I would like to build on Andy kasi parang si Andy mentioned na yung mga talagang what we have been really looking for in the new normal. Agility, flair, winning mindset. Pero I think I would like to highlight more on the behavior of the candidate or behavior of the applicant. Knowledge of the role is very important. Knowing how you can contribute, si Andy mentioned earlier about making an impact. How you will make an impact is when you already have a knowledge of the role. So whether that be in production, in finance, in HR, commercial, nutrition, supply chain, product development, you will be able to exceptionally contribute if you know what is being expected from you. So you should be able to ask, understand, and challenge. In Nestlé, we, even at the early stage of application, we encourage applicants to ask, to challenge already, and to share that they have understood, or if they see any opportunity areas for improvement in Nestlé. Because in Nestlé, we are very much open to feedback. And there.
Yeah. So if you're be serious about applying, and you can show your seriousness by knowing more about the job and showing from the get-go that you'll be able to contribute. So as Major mentioned, if you know, if you can also actually propose something that you think the company can improve on. So that's a good sign that you're really considering applying to that job seriously. And on the other hand, they will take you seriously if they can see that you are taking your application seriously. So those are nice points. And Clyde, what about in Mondelēz? How can we stand out?
Yep, I think, well, Andy and Major was able to capture agility, the things that you really aspire when you wanted to join the organization. But probably from Mondelēz, one of the things that we always highlight is that we are snacking made right. We wanted to ensure that we provide the right snack for the right moment, made the right way. And that includes also consumer centricity. So we are looking for, for talents who are really deeply engaged with knowing the consumers, what we can give to the consumers. Is this something that not in the market yet? Is this an innovative thing that we can do in the next coming years? Or those kinds of things are the criteria that we are looking for, aside from those of the agility, because it would fall under growing every day, being able to develop yourself. And I think maybe just to add to that would be your motivation, because regardless of what company or where you would progress your experience way forward, it's important that you research the organization. Is this something aligned to the values that I have? Is my motivation in the next 5 years to be part of a fast-paced company, of a fast-paced organization? Am I willing to stretch myself to bring out the best in me? Those kinds of things, because each candidate or each talent would have a different motivation in life and would have a different career progression that we're targeting. So I think those are just the two items. One would be consumer centric, and then second would be aligning your motivation.
Yep, that is correct. Being in a consumer goods industry, of course, you need to have a mindset that really puts high regard on consumer welfare. And number two, your motivation. Both Mondelēz and Nestlé, you are providing consumer goods products, and both of you are really big names, but of course you would have your own differences. So when it comes to motivations, they should really study each company so they would realize in themselves where they fit, and if they are able to find that out, they will be able to perform well at their best because it's the perfect fit between the candidate and the company. Hey, thank you for all your answers. Now let's move on to our third question. So tapos na yung the industry, and then they are trying to apply. Once they get in, this is the question. For students who land a job with you, what advice would you give to help them survive and thrive in their first year? What shouldn't they do? So nakapasok na sila. So let's give them a preview of the culture of your company. What shouldn't they do? What should they do to be successful once they're in? Let's go back. Let's ask Mayjoy for this one first.
Ayan, sige. Thank you, Alvin. So, tama ka, no? So, nakapasok na. So, what are we gonna do now? I think si Andy has mentioned this, make an impact. In the first place, diba, you were chosen amongst how many candidates? Definitely a lot of other candidates were lined up, and you were the one who was chosen. So, show why you were hired, show why you were chosen, make an impact immediately on your first day. So dito parang what is it that you shouldn't do? The exact opposite of it. So don't lose your brand, your personal brand. If you have shown to have integrity, resilience, agility, that winning mindset, and all the other strengths that you have, make sure that you will able to put it into practice and sustain it as well. So that will also be your way to survive and to thrive in the fast-paced environment. So yeah.
Yes, that's very nice. They hired you for you because you showed them who you are during the hiring process. So once you get on board, yung iba kasi they are affected, overwhelmed by the culture of the company, but they hired you because of you. So stay true to who you are, show them who you are, and they hired you because they believe that you will bring a substantial contribution to the organization. So make sure to achieve that in your first year. Make sure to prove that. Okay, so what about you, Clyde? What can you say?
Yeah, I think for me, when you join the organization, iba yung feeling because it's your first time. Meron pa siyang may anxiousness in terms of how will I navigate the new world. So technically, it's a new world. But I guess for me, ask questions. There's no there's no stupid question, if I would say. So especially with our edge stars or our graduate trainees, I always say that there's no stupid question. You are starting your career in the organization, in the industry. People are more than willing to help you, to boost your career in the industry. Second would be similar to impact is more on creating your legacy. So of course you would have your rotations. Let's say if you apply for the Edge Stars program of Mondelēz, you would have your rotations every 3 months for the next 12 to 18 months. It's important that during that duration you're able to create legacy. Let's say for example, the Toblerone, one of our Toblerone sleeves during holiday seasons, we can change it every time. So it's one of the project of our Edge Stars previously. So once we learned about Toblerone sleeves, you already know this GT was the one who created that impact or that legacy. And probably connected to that would be always bring out of the box ideas, because you are the early talents, you are the Gen Z, you are the new generation. If I would say, fresh ideas would be coming from you, and the company to really hired you just also to get fresh ideas which we might not be doing yet in the industry. Yeah, those are from my end, from Mondelēz.
Yes, that's very nice. And I'm sure that your EDGE program is a very conducive uh, program. It gives a good environment for early career starters to really hone their skills. And EDGE program lets those participating in it really shine at Mondelēz. What about at GSK?
Okay, so sa amin naman, no? So first of all, I really like what Clyde and Mayjoy mentioned, showing why you were hired, showing what you've got. I really like that piece. But I think to add to that in GSK to be successful, you also need to network. That's very important. There's so much support, available within the organization, and just really not utilizing and networking, especially within your first year, it will just slow you down. On your first year as well, very very important for you to try to really fully immerse yourself in the business. Really understand the organization. What do we do? How do we do it? Why are we doing it this way versus the others like that? You also need to really understand and try to get in tune with the ways of working of the organization, most especially on the first year. Experience the culture within that organization, very very important as well. The things that you shouldn't be doing, probably, or the things that you shouldn't be expecting, is that things will be handed over to you neatly packaged, and then your manager's telling you, okay, step one you do this, step two you do this, and then step three. It doesn't work like that. When you go into organizations, you will learn that you know you need to work with different functions, with different teams. You should be able to problem solve with them, and co-create solutions with them. So again, three things, no. uh network. And then the second one is fully immerse yourself in the organization. And then third, definitely make sure you're able to work with teams, through problem solving and co-creating solutions.
Yes, that is right. And I think we can interrelate all of your answers. Like for Major, it's impact. And how can you have impact in your first year? Do not be afraid to ask questions, as Clyde mentioned. And how can you ask questions? You need to network so that you have a lot of people to ask those questions to, and be proactive. Don't wait for people to tell you to do things. Jumpstart your projects, jumpstart your ideas, make it happen. Don't be afraid. Okay, so for our final word, we've come to our final word. So for you guys, for our panelists, in one sentence, why should students apply with your organization? Okay, let's not limit it to one sentence. Just tell us. You can just have one main sentence and just you can have supporting sentences after it. why should we apply in your organization? Let's go back to Clyde.
Yeah, thank you for that, Alvin. I'm a bit afraid with the one sentence. So, but yeah, thank you for giving the flexibility. But I think students should apply in our organization, or should apply in Mondelēz International, because we are the place to be. We will lead the future of snacking, and snacking is a growing industry, not only in the Philippines, but globally.
All right. Thank you, Clyde. What about at GSK?
For us, we're inviting you to be part of GSK so that you are also part of our special purpose. Our special purpose really is to enable people to do more, feel better, and live longer. You will have the opportunity to make life better for Filipino patients, Filipino families, through our quality medicines and vaccines. And as well, while doing that, our organization is committed to providing you with a meaningful career journey, where you will be able to thrive in this fast-paced and very challenging environment.
Thank you for that. And Nestlé, Mayjoy.
Yeah, so inviting everyone to work for an organization with a purpose driven by its mission to nurture generations of families through our heritage brands. So join Nestle, a good food, good life company, and be a force for good. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. We have three great companies with us today. I hope that you're able to pick up a lot of information and advice